24 hours ago, Judge Aileen Cannon, the corrupt federal judge in the Mar-a-Lago document case, reversed her own prior order where she was going to disclose confidential informants and witness identities, but in reversing herself, she blamed special counsel Jack Smith for not educating her enough on the legal standard, and that's why she applied, she said, a compelling government interest standard versus the correct good cause standard in making the confidential informants publicly available, which special counsel Jack Smith said, you can't do that. So 24 hours later, Judge Aileen Cannon continues to perplex because she simply doesn't know what she's doing at all. Here's what she did. She said paperless order, because remember, she issues these paperless orders instead of actual orders to try to avoid accountability and avoid being appealed by moving things around and calling them scheduling orders. So paperless order, she goes, on or before May 9th, 2024, defendants shall file a Rule 16 expert disclosure and any defense CIPA Section 5A written notice based on classified discovery produced to date. The Section 5A notice shall be sufficiently detailed and cover both documentary exhibits and anticipated oral testimony. Standard rules regarding classified filings with the court apply as set forth in the CIPA protective orders, documents 150, 151, 152. Paragraph 4 of the court's order, document 283, on the sealing request and procedures also remain in effect, signed Judge Aileen Cannon. Let me just remind you what CIPA Section 5 is versus CIPA Section 4, right? CIPA Section 4 is when the government, when the prosecutors seek to withhold classified information and substitute in its place a summary, redaction, something else where there's real national security concerns and the classified information is really not helpful and necessary to the case. Now, CIPA Section 5 is where the criminal defendant gives notice about the classified documents that they want to make publicly available during a public trial, and because of the national security concerns of a criminal defendant thrusting all of this classified information into the public domain, which could cause major harm to our national security, there's a process by which the criminal defendant flags it, the prosecutors can object, there's hearings on it. CIPA Section 5 is one of the most basic things in a Classified Information Procedure Act case. And of course, the Mar-a-Lago case involves Donald Trump's willful retention of national defense information, including nuclear codes, war plans, and some of the most sensitive classified information. So this is something that should have been addressed at the beginning. CIPA Section 5, where have we talked about that before? I don't know, maybe several months back, Special Counsel Jack Smith notified Judge Aileen Cannon about CIPA Section 5 because Judge Cannon doesn't know what she is doing, and as I said, her corruption is matched or exceeded by her incompetence. So Special Counsel Jack Smith educated you, Judge Aileen Cannon. You know how you want to be educated and then blame Special Counsel Jack Smith like you did in your order where you reversed yourself? Well, let's take a look at the minute order back from November 16th, 2023, where you rejected Special Counsel Jack Smith educating you back in November on CIPA Section 5 because Special Counsel Jack Smith said, hello, we've got a trial date, May 20th, 2024. Where's your CIPA deadlines? Where's CIPA Section 5 hearing? And this was Judge Aileen Cannon's response. Paperless order denying without prejudice motion for CIPA Section 5 notification. As stated in the court's November 10th, 2023 order, all previous remaining deadlines in the court's July 21, 2023 order are suspended except calendar call and trial. the court reset the first set of pretrial deadlines and indicated on pages 8 and 9 of that order and scheduled a conference on March 1, 2024 to address remaining deadlines. To the extent the special counsel's motion seeks reconsideration in part of the court's November 10, 2023 order, that request is denied. So then it goes on to say CIPA Section 5 deadlines and all other pretrial deadlines not included in the first batch of pretrial deadlines contained in the court's revised schedule will be set following the March 1, 2024 scheduling conference. Signed, Judge Aileen Cannon. Okay, well, March 1, 2024 scheduling conference, right? That's where special counsel Jack Smith submitted a brief and said trial should start July. Donald Trump submitted a brief and claimed that he wanted to start in September, but then lied. And then at the hearing on March 1st, Donald Trump said, do it sometime in late 2025. And remember, at that March 1, 2024 hearing, Judge Aileen Cannon was very skeptical of special counsel Jack Smith's request to do this trial in July. She called it unrealistic and seemed to be siding with Donald Trump and setting this either late in 2024 or in 2025. One problem here, and this is where I say Judge Cannon's incompetence exceeds or matches her corruption. If we go to that July 21st, 2023 scheduling order, pull it up right there, and you look at the jury trial date, it's May 20th, 2024. So in July 2023, Judge 24, and she did not set a CIPA Section 5 deadline. She then revised some of the dates, but she kept the trial date. And then when Jack Smith said, hey, I think you forgot CIPA Section 4, Judge Cannon, and CIPA Section 5 particularly. Remember CIPA Section 5? That's like the main CIPA section we need to do. Judge Cannon wrote that, somewhat scathing minute order denying Jack Smith's request that they set a CIPA Section 5, and now she's doing it for the first time on April 10th. She's saying, all right, now by May 9th, can you provide for me your CIPA Section 5 information? But she hasn't moved the trial date. So under Judge Cannon's plan right here, something that should have been done in November, which she denied, what would have been the damage? What would have been like this is why I want to go over with this with you on, so you can actually see her corruption in action, because this is like what Jack Smith and the Department of Justice and eventually the 11th Circuit's going to look at. It's like, why didn't you set that? What else happened that you couldn't set a CIPA Section 5 earlier? And that now you're setting it on April 10th for Trump to submit his CIPA Section 5 disclosures on May 9th, and you have not moved the May 20th, 2024 trial date. So we're April 10th, we're April 11th now. So we are less than 45 days away from that trial with nothing being moved. So why hasn't she done that? Why would she at a March 1st hearing not set a CIPA Section 5? Why would she keep the trial date? What is she doing here? One, it's incompetence, but there's always a more nefarious thing to everything Judge Aileen Cannon does. And this is something that we've been predicting here. We said this was her plan, that she wanted to try to keep that trial date on May 20th, 2024 to try to be a buffer and box out the other trials. Well, she failed when it came to the Manhattan District Attorney trial, which is going to start on April 15th. But she's trying to still keep this as a buffer, in my opinion, to try to block the Washington, D.C. federal criminal case or even the Georgia Fulton County RICO case by keeping her date in May so that Donald Trump can go around to the courts across the country and say, hey, look, I've got this trial coming up in May. It's a federal trial. So that's, to me, why she's not moving it. But Special Counsel Jack Smith, he's remained steady under pressure. The thing when you're saying, why hasn't he gone to the 11th Circuit yet? Because Judge Cannon keeps filing these paperless orders that are nonsensical and they're really not appealable. And then she'll eventually like reverse herself because she knows the 11th Circuit is going to smack down her rulings, that is, and reverse her and potentially remove her from the case. So she's inexperienced and she's trying to avoid being reversed because she knows she's over. Jack Smith's remaining patient, and now there's a situation where she refused to set the CIPA Section 5 hearings back in November and like was angry at Jack Smith for requesting it when he was educating you. You know, you like to be educated about the law. And now you set it for May 9th, 11 days before trial, and they're supposed to be, we're dealing with very sensitive national security information. We're dealing with potentially Donald Trump wanting to inject out nuclear codes and things that could kill lots of Americans into this trial. So previously she wanted to give the confidential informant identities, and now she wants to have an 11-day process in order to deal with CIPA Section 5 versus an orderly process that takes place in every single case. So right now the trial date hasn't been moved, yet she sets the CIPA Section 5. Makes absolutely zero sense, but I hope breaking it down for you in that way just shows the shenanigans here, the corruption, the incompetence. And that's why I look at this, and any lawyer who's familiar with this area of law will be like, she's a moron. Like she is evil, and she is a moron, and she is a threat to our national security. Someone who should not be touching this case. I don't care about Democrat, Republican. I mean, she is a menace to our country. It's real despicable behavior. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 3 million subscribers thanks to your support. And you can check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch as well. Thanks for watching.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram at MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.